This is Ihsan-Alexander with the Peak State Success Program. The topic of this video is how to gain focus, the key to a whole mind. How to gain focus, the key to a whole mind. One of the great secrets and one of the great keys to a successful and effective, productive life is a focused mind, the ability to maintain focus. A whole mind is also the key to a joyous and happiest, fruitful life. Do you often feel fragmented, scattered, confused? Do you find yourself at times unable to think clearly, as if your thoughts are dispersed in different directions, as if you're just simply unable to maintain focus? Do you have difficulty concentrating, being able to think clearly and effectively? Do you always feel like there's something you have to do, something out there that you've got to tend to that keeps you from focusing on the present moment, on the task at hand? Well, there is something robbing you of peace, of calm, of clarity, of focus, of presence. There is something that actually takes our attention out of ourselves and disperses it out into the world. This prevents us from focus, from clarity, from calm, from peace, and really from productivity and effectiveness. In fact, there are dozens, hundreds of things that rob us of attention, that rob us of focus and awareness, of concentration, of the ability to think clearly, of the ability to be calm, present, and at peace. And this saps us of vital energy constantly. And if you're ever going to have a happy, successful, and joyous, fruitful, productive life, you've got to get it under control. Now in this video, you're going to learn why you've been unable to focus thus far. You're going to find out what it is that is making you scattered, confused, and fragmented. But more importantly, you're going to learn what you can do about it. You're going to learn how you can regain your focus, regain your sense of calm, regain your sense of peace, your clarity, and your ability to focus. Now this is an extremely important topic and an extremely important video. Having a calm, focused, and clear mind is the key to a successful life. It's the key to happiness, to joy, to peace, and to prosperity. A calm and clear, focused mind can be the difference between a life of struggle, hardship, frustration, chronic stress and anxiety, fears and worries, and a life of peace, happiness, joy, success, productivity, and effectiveness. Now, by putting into action the very simple technique that I'm going to share with you today, you can begin reversing this process. You can begin healing your mind, making your mind whole, literally rewiring your brain so that it functions more effectively, more productively, and in a state of more calm and peace. Right now, you're probably using less than 5% of your potential. Yet through this simple technique and a couple days of practice, you can instantly bump that up to between 6 to 8%. And you can keep going from there. Ultimately, the sky's the limit. Now first, step one, it's important to understand why it is that we don't have focus, what it is that is robbing us of focus. There's a specific reason why we're continually preoccupied with things out there, where our attention is continually dispersed, fragmented, and scattered, and why we often feel like we're operating through brain fog. Currently, there are dozens, if not hundreds, of autonomous, independent programs running in the background of your mind. Again, there are currently dozens, if not hundreds, of independent, autonomous programs running in the background of your mind, in your subconscious. Think of your mind like a computer system, and all these programs are running in the background, robbing you of vital system resources. You try to focus on a single task, on a single window, yet the entire system is running so slowly. It's barely responding. You're barely able to get anything done. Eventually, the system either freezes or crashes, and you've got to reboot the entire system. This is literally how our minds are operating most of the time. Most of our resources, most of our energy is continually being dispersed by these programs that are running in the background of our minds. And this literally robs us of our focus, of our attention, of our energy continually, so that we can barely focus on anything at all. Now in a computer system, when the system stalls or freezes, you basically often will have to just turn it off, reboot it, and if it gets infected with enough of these programs, with enough viruses, you eventually have to reboot the entire operating system, reinstall the entire operating system, and start from a clean slate. Now, in our practical lives, what we end up trying to do is to shut ourselves down, to literally try to shut our minds down through either entertainment or sleep or some form of intoxication. Our minds become so overwhelmed with these dozens and hundreds of autonomous programs running in the background that we become entirely unable to function, and we attempt to relapse into some form of unconsciousness. Again, either through intoxication, entertainment, or sleep. Now, this keeps us stuck, and we never understand what's happening. It keeps us stuck in a cycle where we continue to go through the same process again and again. Because we're not dealing with the root cause, with the real problem, these independent autonomous programs running in our subconscious mind, we literally continue to become robbed of energy. We get exhausted on a daily basis, and before we have a chance to even think about what's going on to address the problem, we just eventually, just out of sheer exhaustion and not knowing what to do, we try to shut ourselves down. Now, this cycle is literally why we become addicted to substances, to things, to either food, to entertainment, to intoxicants, whatever. But by addressing the root cause of the problem, by being able to identify and shut down these autonomous independent programs instead of shutting down our entire minds, we can escape that savage cycle. We can return again to calm and clarity, to focus, to productivity, and to peace, to success, to prosperity, to happiness, and to joy. In this video, you're going to learn how you can go from semi-conscious, which is the normal human state, and instead of going into unconsciousness, but to go into consciousness or super consciousness. Again, you're going to learn how to go from a semi-conscious state into consciousness rather than from a semi-conscious state into unconsciousness. Through this simple practice, we begin to evolve, we begin to progress rather than regress. And by cultivating a higher form of consciousness, we will cultivate a far more productive, valuable, happy, and joyous life. We'll be far more successful in everything we do. Now, realize it or not, if you're a typical human being, you're overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed with thoughts, with fears, with concerns, with worries, constantly. And your mind is literally fragmented into dozens and hundreds of different directions. And most of these things, most of these phantom fears, are things that we can do nothing about in this moment anyway. Right now, you're probably thinking in the background of your mind, subconsciously, about the rent that's due at the end of the month, about the utility bills, the insurance bills. You're probably thinking about what happened at work yesterday, or what may happen today or tomorrow. You're probably concerned about your health, about your appearance. You're probably worried about your children, if you have children, about your spouse. Right now, you may be worried about a deadline for a project that you've got to do. Your mind is literally preoccupied with hundreds of different concerns. And this just robs us of energy. It robs us of our ability to focus. Now, is it any wonder why we're unable to focus? Is it any wonder why we feel so scattered and fragmented all the time? This is not only about success and productivity. It's not only about practical effectiveness. It's about life itself. You see, with all of these constant concerns running in the background of your mind, well, guess what? You're missing life. You're missing life right here, right now. Have you ever been with your children, but not really there? Now, if you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. Your kids are there, playing, active, present, and they're attempting to engage you, but you're not available. You're not really there. Where are you? You're everywhere but here. And if they push you enough to become present, you might even snap at them. You know, children are a gift from God. We can learn so much from them. And in fact, we're meant to learn so much from them. Through children, we can learn. We can relearn one of the most valuable things that we have, that we had, and we lost: innocence. Children remind us of what innocence is like, what it's like to be carefree, worry-free, to live in the present moment, to be innocent, to pure, clean. And really, the topic of this video is about returning to innocence, to being able to return to that state of being, that state of existence, where we naturally live in awe, in wonder, in joy, in playfulness, in curiosity, and in happiness. Jesus, in the book of Mark, speaking of children, says that for of such is the kingdom of God, and that verily, if any is to enter the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, he must become like one of them, like a child, innocent and pure. Now, having a fragmented and scattered mind is a real problem, and if we don't do something about it, it will continue to rob us of life and of years. We will continue to age, our bodies will get older, our children will grow up, and throughout the whole time we will be missing life. We'll be missing the present moment experience, that which truly gives us happiness and success and effectiveness. So are you ready to get your mind back, to free your mind, to regain a focus and whole mind? Good. So what's the solution? What's the practice? The single most effective practice that you can engage in to regain wholeness and completeness of mind, to bring you back into a state of calm and clarity, into a state of presence and focus. The single most effective exercise, practice, activity that you can engage in to bring you back together and help you return to this state of internal innocence, this internal state of clarity and calm, this internal state of purity, is meditation. A consistent meditation practice is the key to rediscovering life in the present moment, to rediscovering joy, happiness, and focus. Through a simple meditative spiritual practice, through a simple meditation practice, you will be able to become rooted and anchored within, so that the world cannot continually distract you or draw you out from yourself, cannot force you to become fragmented and scattered. You will become whole and complete from within. Through meditation, you will heal your brain. Chronic stress has been shown clearly to damage the brain, to kill brain cells, specifically the areas of the brain that are responsible for learning and for memory. Eventually, chronic stress will lead to diminished brain function, diminished mental capacity, the inability to learn new things, and the inability to remember things. Yet through meditation, you can stop this damage. You can even reverse the process. You see, through meditation, you will actually be bathing your mind, your brain, and your entire being in healing energy, in spiritual energy. And this allows a healing process to take place. In the last decade or so, scientists have discovered the principle of neuroplasticity, that the human mind is continually capable of being reshaped, reformed, of continually being able to form new neural connections. This is great news for us, because the brain doesn't just atrophy, wither, and die, but through proper practice, through proper use, through meditation, we can actually regenerate, we can actually heal our brain, our minds. Also through meditation, you'll improve your health. Heart disease is one of the leading causes of disability and death in modern society. And through meditation, you can actually stop and reverse the progress of this disease. You can actually heal your entire system so that you can become, again, vibrant, healthy, strong, vital, and alive. Through consistent meditation practice, you'll regain your focus and your ability to become productive and effective in anything you do in life. You will also become more inspired. Now, the word inspired or inspiration comes from the root word meaning to be in spirit. And through meditation, essentially you're connecting to the source of all things. You will be connecting to spirit, to life, to truth, to reality, to God. And this will result in a far greater level of creativity and guidance. You'll be led. You'll be connecting to the source of safety and security, so that you will find what most people seek in the outer world, safety and security. You'll have that from within yourself. You will also gain insight, sight from within, which means you'll have a greater level of perception, the ability to see things more clearly, and to see solutions where others see problems. Through this practice, you will regain control of your life, because you'll be regaining control of yourself. So step 3, how to meditate. In this portion of the video, I'm going to give you a few simple steps and guidelines on how you can begin practicing meditation today, right away. Meditation is simply the practice of calming and quieting the mind, of stilling the mind, of surrendering the self and bringing yourself into a state of peace, into a state of calm. It's not difficult, even if you've never meditated before. In fact, it's the easiest thing in the world, because meditation is really not doing anything at all. It's the ability to stop doing altogether. You see, we have to relearn how to simply be and to stop doing. We've become so programmed through our culture and through our environment that we are constantly hyperactive, if not physically, mentally. And we have to remember that we're human beings, not human doings. Through meditation, you're going to rediscover the simple and pure joy of just being. Now first, before I get into how to meditate, I want to just share with you a few practical guidelines. Number 1, be consistent. If you've never meditated, simply start with just 5 minutes a day. Gradually, you can work yourself up to 10, 15, even 20 minutes or more. But start with just simply 5 minutes a day. Initially, the most important thing is simply to be consistent. Number 2, don't worry about doing it right. Even if you don't think that you're doing it properly, simply sit still and stay with the practice. Simply sit still and quiet for 5 minutes, or 10, 15, or 20, depending on how far you've gotten. Number 3, don't fight your thoughts. Now, the goal of meditation is to get your mind to a place of calm and stillness, to a place where you're not thinking and you're just simply being. But do not fight your thoughts. Whatever you resist will persist. And if you struggle against your thinking, if you struggle against your thoughts, you will only give them more energy, and it'll continue to keep the cycle of thinking going. Your thoughts will naturally dissolve on their own if you just simply let them be. Just let them be as they arise. Look at them and let them be. Don't judge. Don't think about your thoughts. Don't complain about how poorly you may be meditating. Simply observe. Whenever you realize that you've strayed from just simply focusing on your breathing, on your inner energy field, gently bring yourself back. Number 4, make it a habit, make it a routine so that you meditate at the same time every day. This is the easiest way to keep the practice consistent. Set a time and place where you'll be able to sit undisturbed for 5, 10, or 15 minutes every single day. Usually the best time is going to be early in the morning or late at night. But the important thing is to make it a habit, a routine, so you don't have to remember, did I meditate today or not? Just like you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you get dressed, you go through a certain process. Make meditation a part of that routine, either in the morning, at night, whatever time of day works best for you, so that it becomes a habit. And number 5, stick with it. Even if you miss a day or 2 or 3, get back to your practice. Don't become discouraged. Don't become upset. This is just human nature. We tend to fall. We tend to make mistakes, and it's okay. Be merciful and compassionate with yourself. If you realize that you've missed a couple days without meditating, that's okay. Just bring yourself back and pick up and start off where you left off. Rumi, the great mystical Sufi poet, wrote in one of his poems, "Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, lover, worshipper, it doesn't matter, come. And even if you've broken your vow 1,000 times, it doesn't matter. Come, come again. Ours is not a caravan of despair." Never give up on yourself. Always treat yourself with forgiveness, with mercy, and with compassion. So again, these guidelines are: number 1, be consistent. Number 2, don't worry about doing it right. Number 3, don't fight your thoughts. Number 4, make it a habit. And number 5, stick with it. Now here are 5 steps to a simple meditation practice. Again, this doesn't need to take any longer than 5 minutes initially, and you can gradually work your way up to longer and longer periods of meditation. Your body, your soul will let you know what is best for you. Number 1, simply sit in a comfortable position. Just make yourself calm, comfortable, and relaxed so that you're not in an awkward position. Usually sitting on the floor cross-legged works well. You can also sit in a chair. Try to keep your spine erect so that you're not slouching backwards or forwards. Number 2, begin to relax. Just simply begin to relax and calm yourself. And start allowing yourself to breathe naturally. Number 3, close your eyes. After a couple of moments, you've sat down, you've begun to gently, calmly relax yourself. Now, close your eyes. Number 4, simply focus on your breathing. Just focus on your breathing and releasing tension throughout your system. Become aware of tense spots in your body, in your neck, in your shoulders, in your arms, in your hands, in your legs, and start to consciously release the tension. After you've sat for about 5 minutes or so, silently, still, then you can gently open your eyes and give thanks. It's very important at the end of this process, at the end of the meditation session, to end it with thanks. Gratitude will infuse your practice with greater consistency and greater spiritual support, spiritual energy, greater effectiveness in what you're doing. So again, simply sit, begin to relax, close your eyes, breathe, and when you're done, give thanks. Now, the benefits of meditation are clearly documented. There's massive amounts of research showing that the benefits of meditation are very real, very concrete, and it can heal your brain, it can heal your mind, it can even heal your body. But the only way to learn how to meditate is simply to do it. So again, don't worry about doing it right, doing it perfectly, mastering it. At this point, simply begin, simply start practicing. And also remember that the point of meditation is not an end into itself. You don't meditate simply to meditate. Meditation teaches you, it teaches us how to live our lives from a place of calm and clear, relaxed presence. So as you meditate, you'll become more and more aware of tension in your body, of thoughts, of things that bring stress into your life, into your mind. And throughout the day, as you go through your different activities, ask yourself, am I relaxed? Am I calm? Am I present? Am I here? And if you discover tension in your system, through meditation, you'll learn how to consciously begin relaxing that tension. And you can begin doing it instantly, no matter where you are or what you're doing. In fact, through meditation, you'll become increasingly capable of becoming aware of tension and stress in your body and things that cause that. And you'll also become increasingly capable of letting that go consciously, instantly. It's like a muscle, it's like a skill. The more you practice it, the greater you'll be at using it. So regaining a clear, focused, and calm mind through meditation is one of the most important things you can do to become a successful human being. Through consistent meditation, you'll heal your mind, you'll become whole, integrated, one. You will regain your calm, your clarity, your focus. You'll be rooted and anchored within in a state of presence and in a state of peace. And you'll increasingly be able to handle even stressful conditions, stressful circumstances, stressful situations. Eventually, no storm can shake your inmost calm while to that rock you're clinging. Again, this is Ihsan with the Peak State Success Program. And I wish you success, joy, happiness, and fulfillment to your divine success.